Welcome to the Active in Tech Show. I'm your host, Michael Cassidy. In this modern world, we're sitting in chairs and staring at screens more than ever. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can be fit and healthy while also having a desk job. Today, I'm interviewing Anders Skor, a DevOps engineer and a bodybuilder. We're going to hop into his gym, the Iron Alliance gym, but first we're going to head to his house and see what he does at home while he's working to stay healthy. All right, let's see if Anders is home.
Hey man.
Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Come on in.
Come on in. All right, this is my friend Anders Skor. What do you do, Anders, for work?
I'm a software engineer. I get to work from home most days of the week. Go into the office once a week, but yeah, I work as a software engineer.
So I noticed that you have your workspace over here. Is this primarily where you work?
This is where I work.
All right,
Yes.
Let's check it out. All right.
Nothing special. I try to keep things pretty simple. You know, it works.
What do you do during the day to make sure that you are staying fit and healthy in terms of like movement?
Working from home, you know, I don't get a lot of activity in, but just by, you know, with my normal daily activities. So I have to make a pointed effort to get to the gym. So I'm working out twice a day currently. What I do is I wake up in the morning, usually do some fasted cardio. The fasted part of it is not necessary probably, but the main reason I do that is just to delay my first meal. I like to eat, and you know, if I can shorten that window and push off my first meal a little bit, it just makes it easier to satisfy my hunger throughout the day. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I can see how that could definitely work for some people, especially people who maybe get up and like don't do any activity. It's not like you need like a ton of food in the morning to like fuel yourself.
Right.
I don't know, for some, you know, you imagine, like I imagine like the software engineer like just like huge and like eating Cheetos in a dark room. I don't know. That's always like the picture that I get. But I mean, that's the point of this show, is to show that there are people out there. You can have a desk job and stare at a screen and still be like healthy and fit.
Anyway, I wake up, do some fasted cardio, eat breakfast, then I will come sit down here and put in an 8-hour workday, and then I will go back to the gym in the evening or late afternoon and do some weights.
Okay, I like that setup. So you have a dedicated like fat burning time and then a dedicated muscle building time.
That's right.
And then in between, you just are at your desk job?
I'm usually planted in my chair. You know, there's different ways to do it. Sometimes I'll do a walk at lunchtime if you know, my schedule allows for it. But for me, the context switching is sometimes difficult, and it's hard for me to go get and you know, break up my day and fit in a good walk. So
There are some studies showing now that like even if you like do your like workout in the morning, like if you like sit for the rest of the day, like you're still leaving like health gains on the table or whatever.
you're totally spot on. There's definitely different ways to do it, and certainly in terms of, you know, glucose or blood sugar management, I think spreading out, you know, my workouts would be a better way to do it. I eat 5 meals a day, so if I could get some activity after each one of my meals, I think that would be the, you know, preferred way to do it. It also would be, you know, probably a little bit easier. Having 2 dedicated workouts is sometimes draining and taxing. You know, the weights, getting to the gym just once a day, you know, for a lot of people, and including myself, is, you know, it takes a lot out of you. And to get twice, get in 2 workouts a day, that definitely takes its toll. So
I mean, you definitely work out like enough. Obviously, it works for you.
sure.
And I see you have this like pretty sweet bike right here. Do you use that often?
first choice would be outdoor walks. I like just getting some fresh air in the morning,
Yeah.
getting some sunlight. Second choice would be, you know, if I can't do an actual walk, I'll go do it on the treadmill, either at we have a clubhouse here that has a treadmill, or I'll drive to the gym. But there are many days, you know, where, you know, my son is, well, he's still sleeping, and I can't leave the house, and I need to get some sort of activity in. So those are the days where I really make use of the bike. Some of the downsides, you know, or the main downside with the bike is, first off, it doesn't track my calories, and I like to know, you know, I always try to shoot for about 350 to 400 calories for my morning workout. So having that, or knowing exactly how many steps I've gotten in, is something that I can more regularly manage and track, and this doesn't really allow for that. This is a pretty basic bike. So that's a downside. The other downside of the bike is, especially on a leg day, if I'm doing a leg workout in the afternoon, I seem to feel a lot more drained whenever I do my cardio on the bike. It seems to be more of a muscular workout. And my legs will just be more tired, and I also will feel more hungry throughout the day. I have to go at a faster speed to get my heart rate up when I'm using the bike compared to just doing normal steps or incline walking. So, I do use it, but it's my third choice. But, I suppose if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily or wants to, combine their goals of burning calories and getting a workout in all at once, and, get some leg stimulation at the same time as cardio, and maybe you can only get to the gym once a day, then maybe, a bike actually serves both purposes okay. But for me, I have two separate sessions, each with very different goals.
Cool, interesting. Yeah, and that I can see how that could work for your everyday person.
I'm eating in a calorie deficit, trying to lose some body fat, prepping for a bodybuilding show actually, and with eating that low of calories, I try to keep my cardio as just low intensity as possible, because if I do anything too intense, first off, my hunger just skyrockets. I just feel way more hungry if I'm working out twice a day, and both of those workouts are intense. So low intensity is definitely my preferred route for cardio. I call it cardio really. It's not so much, my goal when I do my cardio is not so much cardiovascular health. I certainly get my heart rate up, up into the 130s is kind of my target, but the goal is not necessarily to improve my cardiovascular health as much as it is to just burn some calories.
I think there are some studies out there showing that you can burn a little more fat in zone 2.
That's what I've heard, and that's what I aim for. I try to get into that zone 2 area. I can't remember exactly what that is for my body weight and height and everything, but 130 is usually the max. I would want to push it. If I start going above a heart rate of 130, it's like I really feel it throughout the day. It really zaps my energy.
Yeah, well, and I think that's good for just like normal people who have like desk jobs, like to try to do things that get them into that zone 2 cardio, because I think you can obviously burn calories, burn fat, and you're doing yourself like some heart health benefits there too. Do you notice? So you do all these things. You do this weight training and cardio like basically every day. Like if you miss it, does it affect your work? Do you ever notice like is there something there?
It certainly feels good to wake up, and I like to wake up early. Have recently become a morning person, and there's something about starting my work day knowing that I'm starting the day in a calorie deficit. I just finished my breakfast. I've already burned off a whole bunch of calories. It makes me feel like I'm kind of ahead of the day. So there's definitely that sort of a pride aspect of it that makes me feel like I can be more productive.
Okay, so we have your workstation. It's nothing like super fancy. You don't have like an under the desk treadmill.
I don't. I've thought about getting one, but again, I don't think I'd have the multitasking ability to sit there and walk and also focus on my work. I'd be breaking a sweat, and I'm constantly doing Zoom meetings. And some people at my work definitely have the under desk treadmills.
I think it's hilarious when people are like on their meetings.
It's always, it is a little bit distracting, slightly out of breath, that's not. I haven't gotten that extreme with it yet.
Is this a sit-stand desk? Or
it is not. No,
okay.
it just
looks like it.
It does look like it. I have one at work, and for me, it's the standing thing. I can't do it.
Okay.
I just feel too tired.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, different things work for different people.
For sure.
Yeah, like for me, I just have like all this junk. I have like a sit-stand riser. I have like an under-the-desk treadmill. I have this like stepper thing. And then I do micro workouts. I don't know. I just like.
Are you able to focus on work doing all that stuff?
So.
Or do you feel like you're
the least amount of focus I get is when I'm on the treadmill. For sure. Yeah. Because I can't I'm not like a multitasker. So like, if I have to like deeply think about something, like I cannot walk and think at the same time. And then you got to turn it. It doesn't like abruptly turn off, so you have to like, and then think about it. But
Yeah.
I have this thing. It's called like a mini stepper. That thing's okay, so I can just like
Sure.
stop and then think. That's all right. But yeah, but either way, like I don't know. For me, I prefer to like get up and do some push-ups and come back, or just like get up and go on a walk and come back. And it seems like when you go on walks, at least for me, like if I like can't figure something out on the computer and I go for a walk, usually I come back and I like can figure it out.
Yeah.
One of those deals.
You know, the only thing that keeps me from doing anything like that is I am just a sweaty, hot person. So
Okay.
doing workouts throughout the day, I feel like whenever I work out, I like to break a sweat, and it's not hard at all for me to do. So I
Yeah,
feel like if
yeah.
I was doing that, I'd constantly be sitting at my desk in a
Okay.
pool of sweat.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, but I mean, at least you work from home, so it's
Right.
not like anyone else has to like
No,
smell you.
that's absolutely true.
But I can understand that like one of the things that I struggle with is trying to convince people to do micro workouts like in office buildings because like so that's like socially unacceptable.
Right.
And like people are probably worried about smelling or whatever. But I don't know. I wish as a society we could get a grip and be okay with that.
Yeah. Well, you also mentioned 60 seconds. You know, I think
Yeah.
even going intense for 60 seconds, it's probably I could probably manage something like that without getting too
Yeah.
overly hot.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so yeah, so this is one way you can have your desk set up, just like simple to the point, and you do a lot of working out otherwise. So
Right.
I mean, it's not like you're not moving. So
Right.
obviously, to get to where you are, like you have to eat healthy. So we just went through the kitchen, but I think we should go back there
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
learn some more about what it is you do in here.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, so this is the kitchen. This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
So yeah, so you said like eating is obviously super important for bodybuilding, but obviously it is for everyone. I mean, you can't eat garbage and expect to feel good or anything. So like how many meals a day do you have like right now?
Yeah, so right now I do 4 or 5. All my macros are tracked. I weigh all my food on the scale, which definitely takes time and can be annoying. But it's kind of, you gotta go by weight and not volume when you really want to be consistent. Yeah, 4 to 5 meals a day, and that works for me right now.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, most people probably don't need to eat like 5 meals a day, but I guess like this is something I feel like this can translate to anyone because if you really want to change like how you look, like maybe like counting calories isn't a bad idea, like at least for the short term.
Yeah, I mean, I think counting calories definitely, it's not something you've ever done before, I think it's really an eye-opening experience. A lot of people have no idea what they're putting into their mouth.
Sure.
And once they start tracking calories, they realize, holy crap, I've eaten 50% of my calories and I just finished breakfast.
Yeah.
So I think if you're not somebody who has a reference point for what is, or how many calories are in the foods that you eat, I think that's definitely a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think people, just to like know, kind of get a ballpark idea of how many calories you're eating is probably a good thing to do. It doesn't take like a ton of effort. You just look on the package or whatever and add it up, kind of.
Yeah, there's that way to do it, and then there's also just the only buy healthy food options. Although that can get you into trouble too. If you're somebody who only buys healthy foods, like for the most part, with the exception of the foods that my son eats from time to time, all the stuff I bring home for myself is all foods that I would consider to be healthy. However, I can still go crazy and eat a full tub of Greek yogurt and gain weight. But
it does. It kind of seems like there's two schools of thought. Like calories in, calories out is the only thing that matters, and then it's like no, it's just like the quality of food. But I mean, I don't know. Personally, I think like it's a combination of both. Like I can't eat as much. Like if I'm just eating like a salad, like I'm definitely not going to be able to eat as much as like a bag of Cheetos. Like I'm obviously going to get more calories from that bag of Cheetos.
Yeah, no, I think if your goal is just weight gain or weight loss, I think at the end of the day it does come down to calories in, calories out. But in terms of how you feel, how satisfied you feel, you feel after eating a meal, I think the foods you eat really make a big difference. And obviously there's the micronutrients. I mean, we're just talking about calories right now, but there's also the macros, how many grams of carbs, fat, and protein you're consuming, and that's all food dependent. And then the micronutrients, which really makes a huge difference in how you feel and which vitamins and minerals you're putting into your body.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. So I'd like to check out your fridge.
Yeah.
I assume you have some good stuff in there.
Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, so you can see, like I said, most of the stuff that I eat is all healthy food. So I eat a lot of eggs and egg whites.
A lot of egg whites in there.
Yeah, I usually have one whole egg for breakfast. Although at the moment I'm eating very low fat, so I'm not even doing that. My son eats a lot of eggs though, so we go through a lot of eggs at this house. I, for the most part, will eat egg whites. These small ones have 50 grams of protein, so usually my breakfast, for my main protein sources, I'll have one container of egg whites every single day, just for breakfast. And then I'll usually have that with a carb source like oats or rice sometimes as well. Then we got probably the most versatile ingredients in the kitchen, in my opinion, Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. So I'm not eating many foods that have these right now, but you can make a lot of really delicious, pancakes and some really tasty foods with these. I like to mix my protein powders in Greek yogurt. I think it's just a way to get a little bit healthier protein. Greek yogurt is really good for your gut health. So I eat a lot of that. And cottage cheese, I think it is also a great option to put on a lot of protein. So I'll put this on chicken or beef as well.
Cool. So it seems like as a bodybuilder and as a person, it's important to get a lot of protein. I mean, there's tons of studies showing the more muscle mass you have, the better. And so, I notice all these protein things, and egg whites are such a good way to get a lot of protein without getting tons of calories.
Yep.
And I suppose as a bodybuilder, you kind of have to be, because it seems in my mind, I picture someone just eating chicken, broccoli, rice, or whatever, and it seems kind of boring. So
It definitely can get boring, and I think when you're bodybuilding, having a few sources of protein and keeping your diet kind of restricted, there's some benefits in terms of getting your body on a routine and your day on a routine of how to cook everything. The egg whites are great, I think, because like you said, they're low calorie, high in protein. I shoot for 50 grams of protein in every meal. So with 4 or 5 meals a day, I'm eating between 200 and 250 grams of protein every day. But the egg whites are great, especially when you're really hungry, because you can eat a lot of egg whites. I mean, one container there is quite a bit, and it makes you feel pretty full. So I love the eggs and the egg whites for sure. But yeah, then there's also plenty of other foods that you need to eat. You need some carb sources. I eat a lot of fruit and berries, strawberries and blueberries. I also recently have been going through a lot of watermelon. It's the summer, so watermelon is in season. The watermelon's great because it's high volume, so you can eat a lot of watermelon
without getting a lot of calories.
Without getting a lot of calories, and it makes you feel full. So watermelon's great in that way. Strawberries are also pretty good in that way. The berries raspberries and blueberries are a little more calorie dense compared to the watermelon for strawberries, but they're all good options.
Yeah.
I also eat some Ezekiel bread, less of this recently. Like I said, I'm trying to stick more to rice and some basic carb sources, but the sprouted bread is good. It's low glycemic, so this is a good carb source as well. And it's tasty, pretty good. I don't drink a lot of milk. My son goes through a lot of whole milk, but I don't drink this. Usually for my milk options that I mix with my protein shakes, I'll either use water for the most part when I'm having a protein shake, but almond milk is also very low in calories. So this is 30 calories per cup, I think. Yeah, so this is a great alternative to normal milk, and it'll make your protein shakes taste way better compared to just using water. So definitely go through a lot of almond milk. As you can see, I also prep all my meals.
Oh, nice.
Usually when I'm cooking chicken, I'll cook it a whole bunch of it ahead of time. I'll just bake a whole bunch, cut it up into slices, and put it into these prepackaged containers, and then when it's time to eat, based on how much I need, I'll weigh it out on the scale. Let's go to town. So let's see, what else do we got in here? Apple cider vinegar. We'll drink this straight from the container. Just take a swig every now and then. Helps with digestion.
Have the mother in it or whatever?
This is with mother, yes. I'm not sure what that is, but I hear it's good. So
Yeah.
I definitely you get the stuff with
I
mother.
feel like the apple cider vinegar is like the cure for everything.
That's
At
what
least
they
that's
say,
what I've heard,
yeah.
It seems like you have like a good balance of what you eat. You're getting in like your calories, your micronutrients, and this, this isn't applicable. Like not everyone needs to do this exactly. This is just one way of doing things. But like I said before, I do notice that it almost seems kind of bland. But I see you do have some condiments.
Yeah. So I like to put this on bread. It's low calorie. I don't think it's necessarily good for you. I'm not sure what's in it, but it's 0 calorie butter. It sprays on. It's really easy to use. So I'll put this on the Ezekiel bread. Tastes great. Mustard. I put Dijon mustard on everything. It's very low calories. I think like 5 calories. Adds a lot of flavor. So if I love mustard. I put it on a lot of different things. Sugar-free jelly, again, not sure if it's necessarily good for you, but when we're talking condiments, my goal is not necessarily to hit my macros with the condiments. It's to add flavor and make things taste a little bit better. So the sugar-free jelly is a nice option. I'll put this in Greek yogurt every now and then, eat it on Ezekiel bread. Again, 10 calories per tablespoon, so it's a great option. Other things they got in here, soy sauce. This is great on rice, 0 calorie, or 10 calories, I guess. So, but basically nothing. A great option to add some flavor to, if you're making a stir fry or something with rice in it. So I'll eat a lot of that. My son likes ketchup. I don't use it, but we got the ketchup in here, of course. Pickles, those are great, especially when you're eating clean. Sometimes I try to make sure I salt all my food and get that sodium. Otherwise, I get really bad cramps. So I like to eat pickles as well. The pickles help with the salt intake and help prevent the cramps as well. So, and then of course we got coffee. We drink a lot of coffee here.
Yeah.
So.
0 calories, yeah.
0
so
calories.
So it kind of seems like you're a master of like low calories, high protein, and you got to make it taste good.
That's kind of how it is. My main goal is first to make sure I hit my protein. So I go for 1 gram per pound of body weight. So like I said before, right now I'm 208. So I'm eating between 200 and 250 grams of protein a day. Fats are relatively low right now. I'm eating about 50 to 60 grams of fat a day, probably lower than the recommended amount. It probably should be closer to 100, but when you're getting ready for a bodybuilding competition, you got to save your calories for the carbs, and that would be the last thing. So, and then carbs, I'm eating right around 200 grams a day. So start with the protein, and then basically fill in the carbs and fats just to hit my calorie goals.
Nice. So I noticed too that you have like a lot of like protein powders. Do you take any other like supplements? To supplement your diet?
Yeah, so certainly they got the protein powders, all whey-based or casein-based proteins. Those are really good for building muscle. I got several different brands and flavors up here. I take the casein protein at night. It's slower digesting. It also helps to make you feel full, which is great when you're sleeping and you don't want to wake up hungry, starving in the middle of the night. So the casein's great before bed. You got the creatine monohydrate. I go for 10 to 15 grams of this a day. Usually take it first thing in the morning. Also helps has some brain benefits. And if you're sleep deprived, which I am from time to time, it's helpful. Also great for building muscle, and that's the main reason I take it. Then we got my pre-workout Gorilla Mode up here. So this is just basically helps with getting a good pump at the gym, gives you a little bit of extra energy. I have 2 different versions of this supplement. I have the Gorilla Mode Nitric and the original Gorilla Mode. The Nitric version is just the stim-free.
Yeah.
And then we get the one with the caffeine. So I do take consume a lot of caffeine during the day. I'm guilty, as you can feel. This one is much more full than this one.
Yeah.
And that's because I prefer to have the caffeine. However, it does impact my sleep. So I'm going to the gym at 5 o'clock. I'll often take this, and I have no trouble falling asleep, but I can definitely tell when I've had the stimulants late at night, it's like my sleep quality, it does take a hit for sure.
So would you say, like, obviously you're super healthy, would you say that you struggle with sleep a little bit if you had to pick one thing?
I wouldn't say I struggle with sleep. But it's something that I consume more caffeine than I probably should, and I think it does have an impact on my sleep. It does cause me to wake up from time to time in the middle of the night. It's usually not an issue for me to fall asleep when I'm working out twice a day. I can fall asleep just fine, but I find that I'm able to sleep more deeply and get through a full night's rest when I don't have the caffeine. So, I do buy both of them, knowing that I should take more of the nitric, the non-stim version at night, just so it doesn't have that impact. But
okay. Yeah. Well, I think as you're talking, I'm trying to think of how this translates to like a normal person. Normal people probably don't need like pre-workouts unless they are going to the gym, and that's cool. But so for the casein, I think that can be a great thing for a lot of people, like to tab before bed so they're not hungry in the middle of the night.
It's much more filling than a normal way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I've tried casein before, and I've noticed that I feel like I build more muscle when I take casein just because I have that protein in my blood for longer.
Right.
And then creatine too. I've definitely heard about the brain benefits that creatine can have, especially when you're sleep deprived.
Right.
What is it, like Huberman says, like, take 20 grams or whatever after a night of sleep deprivation.
Right.
Obviously, it's not like a long-term solution. You gotta sleep. But yeah, creatine's a good supplement for sure. It's super highly researched also. It's definitely safe.
Yeah, I remember when I first got on creatine, like back in high school, it's like everybody thought it was like steroids. If it's like, oh, he's on creatine though, like he was taking something bad. But
I remember,
now there's so many studies. I mean, you probably remember that.
No, I remember I started taking it, and our friend Andy, I didn't want him to tell anybody that I was taking creatine.
Right.
I was like, Andy, don't tell anybody. And I remember he told some people, and I was super mad at him.
I mean, it used to have a stigma for sure. Now it's it's been so well researched. It's the main supplement that they'll tell you to take, or you'll hear about if your goal is to build muscle.
So are there any other supplements that you?
Absolutely. So I have a morning. Yeah, those are sitting right over here on the table. So. This is my morning stack. I take a multivitamin in the morning. Just kind of covers all your bases. Just hits everything you need. Then I also take fish oil. I take this in the morning, but I also will take it a few times throughout the day. Helps with keeping your cholesterol levels in check and your joints feeling good. I also take some additional B vitamins just to help with energy. And then I take turmeric for a healthy inflammation response. I've heard that this is supposed to be good for you. I'm not really sure if it is or not, but it's something that I have in my cupboard right now. So that's in the morning, and then in the evening, I take several things to help with my sleep. Melatonin is the one everybody's probably heard about. I take this not every day because this mostly just helps with the falling asleep part of it. It doesn't necessarily help keep you asleep. But if I'm worried about being able to fall asleep, or my circadian rhythm is off for whatever reason, I've been traveling or something else, melatonin helps to kind of get that back on track. So I occasionally will have this, but it's not an everyday sort of thing. Vitamin D, I put this in the nighttime, but I actually take it in the morning as well. Even with getting my daily walks in, I don't get enough sunlight to get enough sufficient vitamin D, so I take vitamin D a couple times throughout the day, sort of like the fish oil. Then I also take magnesium at night, the magnesium glycinate. You want the glycinate version at night. It helps with making you feel relaxed and helps with your sleep quality. So I take that. And then these two are kind of optional ones that if I'm ever feeling anxious or again, feeling worried about being able to fall asleep and just winding down at the end of the night. Theanine is supposed to be good for that, especially if you've had a lot of caffeine. I've heard that theanine is really good. So
Interesting.
I think it was like, what, 200 milligrams is supposed to offset 200 milligrams of caffeine. So if you've had caffeine late in the day, taking theanine with your caffeine helps kind of get rid of that jittery feel. At least that's what I've heard. It seems to help. And then the ashwagandha, this is not an everyday sort of thing, but again, this helps to make you feel relaxed and helps with falling asleep as well. So those would be my nighttime subs.
Nice. Yeah, I think vitamin D is pretty important. I mean, especially if you're not getting enough sunlight. I know, like, we live in Minnesota, and
Right.
like especially during the winters, like I know my vitamin D levels are too low in the winter, so that it, affects my immune function and whatever. What's the I kind of did an experiment with magnesium glycinate, magnesium bisglycinate. I think they're the same thing.
Yeah, right.
But like it totally increased my like deep sleep levels
Yeah.
because I usually wear an Oura ring, and so my deep sleep levels got better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, like supplements are supplements to, you already want to have like a good diet.
Right. Yep.
But I do think, they have their place for sure, especially like if you're calorie depleted and things like that,
Right.
like it's going to be harder to get like those micronutrients in.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I noticed you have this like David bar. I've seen this and I feel like there's a little bit of controversy surrounding it. I definitely want to try one though.
Yeah, no, it's they're very good. They're low calorie, and yeah, it's got what is the ingredient in there that's
EPG.
That's right, yeah, and it has like half the amount of calories as a normal, because a normal gram of fat has 9 calories.
Okay.
And I think that has, is it
Yeah.
4? So they're able to get away with, I think that's how it is, because your body can't process it.
Yeah, right,
So it just
right.
passes through you. Where fat, the whole thing gets absorbed. So
Yeah.
they're able to get away with, there's only 150 grams of protein in that whole bar. They're delicious.
Yeah, wow.
So I eat that and then we also got the Built bars. These are always on sale at Costco, so I eat a lot of these as well. And I love to snack. When I'm snacking, I snack on usually one of those bars.
Okay.
One downside of that is they are protein bars. However, the protein blend in both those, they both contain collagen and whey both.
Yeah.
So generally, if you're trying to consume, your goal is to build muscle, you want to have a whey or animal-based protein and not a collagen protein. Collagen is not as great in terms of an amino acid profile
Yeah,
for
right.
building muscle. But I think there are potentially some other benefits of collagen protein in terms of joint health and skin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, especially I think like for someone like if you struggle like with having healthy snacks, like
Right.
I mean, some people think that like CPG like isn't super healthy, but like if you can find like a protein bar that has like high protein and low calories, like that's going to be better than like a bag of chips. Or,
100%. I
whatever.
mean, I can guarantee you what's not healthy is being fat. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, regardless of what's in there, it's like if you're snacking on these as opposed to a bag of chips, you're gonna be much better off.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you're gonna cook a meal here in a little while, probably, and so like I definitely want to like catch a little bit of that. But,
Sure.
So I mean, I think by standards of most normal people, this is kind of like odd to have this many supplements. But I'm wondering, is there any other like weird thing that you do for your health or fitness that like other people might not do?
You know what? I get my blood work done, I'd say every 3 months,
Okay.
a full blood panel just to check my hormones and make sure everything's in check. So that's probably a little bit more than most people. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people just go in for a physical where they don't do any blood work
Yeah.
about maybe once a year. So, I pay out of pocket for that, but it's something that gives me peace of mind. So that's something I do. I also check my blood pressure, at least on a weekly basis. I have a blood pressure cuff that I keep right by my bed. So I will check that. It's never anything I'm concerned about, but with my body weight that fluctuates as much as mine does, it's just another thing to keep track of and make sure is on point.
Yeah, no, and I mean that it sounds odd at face value, but like if you think about it for any amount of time, like that, like hypertension's is a killer.
For sure,
So it's
right.
important to keep your blood pressure in check, and then not only that, but like getting your blood tested, like I don't know very many people who do that, but that's like super important because like what gets measured
Yeah.
can you can improve it. So if you see something in your blood work that that it isn't within the normal range, like you talk with your doctor and figure out what's going on. But yeah, it's odd when you go to like when you go to your doctor, like, and you have to like, I feel like you have to ask for a blood test. Like if you're just
Yeah.
having a normal physical, you're not going to get
Now,
one.
a normal doctor will just wait for something to be until something's wrong with you, and then
Yeah,
they'll
true.
treat you and throw some pill at you.
Yeah.
There's very little they do in terms of preventative health,
Yeah.
in terms of making sure that things are on point, so you can avoid having health
Yeah.
issues in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, not to like throw doctors under the bus, like they're great or whatever,
100%,
but
right.
I think yeah, like you definitely like are in charge of your own health
You
for
are the
sure.
best
Like
doctor
you,
for
yeah, for
yourself,
sure.
right?
And yeah, like I my family has a history of heart disease, so I recently went in to get my like calcium score, and everyone there thought it was pretty odd that I was like, why are you here? You're too young to get your, your arteries checked. But I'm just like, well, I want to see, like, I want to see what's going on,
Yeah,
because
I
if
mean,
something's wrong, then I'm gonna do something about it. I don't want to wait.
come back when you've had a heart attack,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, right. So no, I think for anybody, like definitely getting your blood checked. I mean, I don't know, like ask your doctor obviously what like metrics or numbers you should get checked, but I mean like you can easily get your like cholesterol checked and
Yeah.
your like different hormone levels. And I don't know. I think getting like your plaque levels checked in
Yeah.
some degree is important because I mean I feel like cholesterol is one of those things too that's kind of like controversial
Right.
for some people. But I think like the main thing we're looking at is like whether or not you have plaque in your
Yeah.
arteries. So I think I don't know. These are just things that like everybody should be doing, but only
It
like
certainly gives you peace of mind,
yeah,
going and getting a full blood panel and seeing that everything that they've checked is in reference range. For me, it just helps me to sleep at night knowing that, my health is as tip top as it possibly can be.
cool. All right, so we've talked about like how you keep moving, what you eat. You're kind of a little bit about what you do for your sleep. I guess so. You do all these things. You're in shape, and I guess I want to know like why do you do this? Like what's the story behind like
Yeah.
how you got this way? Because I think people out there like they think it's like impossible, but it's not.
There's a few things that drive me. So I'm a software engineer. I'm a bodybuilding hobbyist, but first and foremost, I'm a dad. And I allowed myself, after competing as a bodybuilder when I was age 18, there was about 10 to 15 years where health was just not a part of my life at all. And things changed really when my son was born. And when he was starting to be a couple years old, and I realized that I started needing to, rather than just being a dad for him and providing for him, I needed to start setting an example and showing him, how to be, and not just speaking the words and telling him how to be. So I wanted to make a change, and when I have a hard time doing anything with any amount of balance. When I was working out as a teen, I was a bodybuilder. When I stopped working out, I didn't literally do anything at all for 15 years. And then once I decided I was going to get back in shape again, now I'm doing the 2-a-day workouts, eating all the supplements, and kind of go into that extreme again. But he's the biggest reason why all this began. But there's a lot of other things that drive me too. So obviously, being a good father, being health is just important for me. You want to be around for your kids and be around for yourself and live a healthy life into old age. So that's important. And then there's also just there's the self pride. Just when you see your body changing, when you see yourself in the mirror and you look good and you feel good about yourself, that goes a long way for self confidence. And so there's the self pride, and then there's the external pride, with everyone else. It's fun to be the strong, in shape dad. It's fun to show up at the pool with your friends and look like you take care of yourself. And just walking around in clothes, everybody looks better when they're in shape. So there's many things that drive me. Those are the main ones.
Yeah, and I think I mean looking at these like photos of you when you were in between, you know, those 15 years or whatever,
Yeah.
you got up to like 280 pounds, right, or
200,
something?
yeah. I got up
Yeah.
to 280 pounds, and then once I decided to get in shape, I cut down to 189. And now I've
Wow.
gained a little bit more, but that gain has been muscle
Yeah.
gain. So
Right.
yeah, it was nearly 100 pound, or about 90 pounds of weight loss
Wow.
when I decided to get back
Yeah.
in shape. So
Well, and I mean, if you came from that and now you're here, so I
yeah,
think that, I don't know, that gives me hope. That should give like a lot of people hope
yeah,
who don't know what to do. And I mean, you don't have to start with all of this stuff that you're
no,
doing. Like, pick one thing, go for a walk in the morning, eat more protein,
yeah,
take creatine in the morning,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. It's like, and when I started, it wasn't like that for me. What actually started, my brother uh, realized how out of shape I was, and it was just trying to get me going. So he signed me up for a boxing class, and that's how it started. And I hated it.
Yeah.
It was brutal. It was intense, but I started to see myself making progress, and then when I saw that progress, it's like, I decided, hey, I'm going to boxing today. I don't want to throw up. So then I changed my diet. I'm going to show up and have a productive workout today. And so those little things, they start to grow
Yeah.
as you see yourself change, and then you start adding more and more things on top of it. Your diet starts to change, your workouts and goals start to change. You start throwing in a few supplements here or there. Your one a day or one a week workout becomes a couple times a week, and then now here I am up to two times a day. So yeah, I think that's a good point. You start with something small. It could be anything, whether it's just taking a small walk every day and doing nothing with your diet, or yeah, like you said, just trying to hit your protein goals, not necessarily changing anything else besides just trying to get enough protein. You make any one of those changes, it's a step in the right direction, and I think you'll start to see the snowball effect pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. That's some great advice. All right, so we have the why, we have it all. I think we definitely want to see you cook a meal, how you spice up something that might be bland, and then so you go to the gym, Iron Alliance gym,
Yep.
right? I think we should check it out.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So you zero out the plate, so the plate
Yep.
doesn't count in your
That's
calories.
right. So I need 40 grams of protein. There's a little bit in the rice, but we'll weigh out close to 5 ounces of chicken breast. So let's see. Got 2.3, 3.7, 5, and let's see, 5.8. That's close enough. So we'll call it that. I cooked some rice earlier today, and that should be ready to go. Still warmed up in here. Let's see.
So it doesn't really take you that. I mean, you do this prep, and then it doesn't take very long for you to
No,
make the meals.
yeah. Oh, this is hot. That's right. Yeah, I cook everything ahead of time. Whenever I can. It's easier that way for my schedule. But the rice I cook fresh. I try not to refrigerate that. Anytime you're recooking rice, it causes, or you get resistant starches, and your body can't absorb it as easily. So eating warm rice is better than eating cold rice.
Okay.
If you're going for absorption, and your goal is to actually absorb all the calories, which in my case it is. Actually, there are some benefits. Some people prefer to eat the resistant starches because I think your body actually absorbs less of the carbohydrates. But if your goal, like I said, is to absorb everything, you want to eat it warm. So this is the meal.
Are you gonna put anything else on there, or is that just what you do?
I usually will salt it, and in this case, I'm not going to put anything else on it. This is good enough for today. I don't measure my salt, but just kind of eyeball it. That seems pretty good. Sometimes I'll put mustard on there. I guess I'll put some dill on the rice. I like dill on everything. But yeah, that's about it. That's the meal.
Nice.
And I have 2 more, so this will be my pre-workout meal. I'll have a post-workout meal, and then I'll have a final meal before bed. So that's it.
All right. Anders and I headed to the Iron Alliance gym where we hit chest and arms. I had so much fun that I forgot to record a goodbye. But while I was there, I noticed something. The people surrounding us were nice, supportive, and in general seemed to be decent people. And so I think if you work from home, you need to get out of the house sometimes, and the gym is a great place to go. You don't need to be intimidated. People there tend to want to help. They like seeing you try to get fit and healthy because they have similar goals. They want to be fit and healthy. So I think it might be worth considering getting a gym membership. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the Active in Tech show. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.